Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Today we'll be getting an extended look at the Battlefield 6 portal. So whether you want to create an only up simulator, whether you want to make a zombie horde survival, maybe you just want to recreate dust2 and play CS in Battlefield with your friends, or you want to try flying assault course or an extraction shooter or all sorts of stuff. We'll be covering all of that today. And we'll also be showing you what the tools look like in the portal editor so you can get a feel for what this is going to be capable of as well. Before I start, I also want to say this is not a sponsored video in this case. I'm just really excited about the portal, so I wanted to show all this stuff off to you. So let's run through some of these game modes one by one, starting with only up. As you can see in the footage here, this starts off as just a hell of a lot of stairs, which we saw actually in some of the reveal content. They've already shown us a little bit of this particular portal map, and that then converts into a lot of shipping containers, and in the distance here, you can see that those containers go everywhere. Like, this very much gives me reminiscent kind of vibes of the Halo Forge system from way back in the day. And it's just got that energy to it of like, yeah, I'm gonna glue together a load of these random pieces of geo, and it's gonna turn into a massive assault course type thing. But nowadays, with games like Only Up that have come out, I feel like we have maybe more of an objective on those random geos than we did back in the day on Halo 3 or what have you. And I think that the possibilities here are pretty crazy, not only because you can create the assault course itself, but as you can see at the top of the screen there, you can also create secondary objectives that you need to do while you're climbing. And I think that gives a lot of opportunity for just really silly challenges and fun things to do either on stream or just to do with your mates, where you're like, listen, there's absolutely ridiculous climbing map that we've got to try. Let's give it a crack. So this, just at face value, seems like a good use of time in the portal. But now let's move on to an alternative option if you wanted to take your time in the portal a little bit more seriously and play CS. So straight off the bat here, you're going to recognize exactly what's going on, right? Like, we just looked down the middle of dust2. This is a recreation of the map, despite the fact that the color palette is very different. That's what's been built here. And I guess the one key detail that if you're a hardcore CS fan, you're going to notice straight away is it doesn't look like there's been any work done to change the gunplay mechanics to make it work more like CS in this particular portal map. But that may be possible in the portal. I'm not actually sure, but when we look at some of the tools later in the video, it might give us a little bit more of a feel for what would and wouldn't be possible to achieve. But certainly just from the overall flow of a match and the fact that you're going to be working your way towards a bomb site as well. I mean, you can see the bomb site coming up just here. It's going to be very similar vibes, just without the CS frustrating gunplay. So that's dust2. How about we do a bit of zombie survival now, right? So this is a whole load of grunts coming at the player, trying to take them down, sort of reminiscent of a bit of Call of Duty Zombies, which I'm obviously very familiar with, being John Zombies. Then once you take all of those grunts out, as they're obviously called in the portal, it will flip the round over. Round 2 will begin. You'll have an idea of the number of enemies remaining, the amount of cash that you've earned as well in the corner so that you can buy things to upgrade your loadout. And this obviously is just an early look at what is possible for the portal. And so if the devs here have created something just really quickly to demonstrate what the portal can do, that gives me a lot of excitement and hope for what the community might be able to do in building out fully fledged, revitalized versions of maybe full zombies maps. Like, we just saw dust2. Why couldn't we see Nacht-Toten or Verrückt or maybe Dariz in Battlefield 6? It's a crazy thought, but I really do think that that's going to happen so long as the tools can support enough of the complexity that's required for those. So what about some other game modes? Well, here's a brief clip of some extraction shooter stuff where your team needs to try and secure these supplies. Once you've got the supplies, you then need to hold on to those because obviously the other teams around you are going to be trying to get them off you, and they're going to be trying to extract instead of having you extract. I think the one thing missing in this mode as built so far is the extraction itself. So let's cut over to something a little different. Here's a flying assault course. So I guess you could extract in a jet through these hoops. Yeah, I mean, this really reminds me of the Harry Potter games that I used to play back in the day, where you'd have to get on Harry's little broomstick, and fly through a load of rings. That's what this reminds me of most for some reason. So it's cool to see that not only do you have all the infantry stuff, but vehicle stuff is also fully supported as well. Let's take a look at what is really supported in the tool itself now. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the mode, map rotation, teams, modifiers, restrictions, rules editor, and then the publish area. And within each of these, you've got a load of checkboxes and a load of different settings. Now, I want to be very clear. This is just rules and sort of setting up settings for the Portal map, but this is not the actual map editor. That I'm going to show you in just a second, okay? So we've got soldier health regen, slide, soldier health max multiplier, and each one of these really nicely as well has one of those little info boxes on the side so you can actually see what you're changing, because sometimes those things are just really miscellaneous and unsure what they are. Like, what is use reduced squad world icon? Could be quite hard to tell sometimes what the dev names are for these things or the dev labels are. So this is what the level of depth is with the settings and stuff. And I have to say as well, EA made it very clear this is a work in progress build. So if there's something that you're looking for here and you're seeing that it's missing, please leave a comment down below and I can feed that back directly to EA and I can try and get them to implement it before launch. Like, we have the opportunity right now to shape this just a little bit. So if there's something you are desperate for, please leave a comment. That would be so helpful for the whole community. So here's the Spatial editor. And this is where I think things get really, really exciting. You've got an absolute treasure trove of potential in this editor to craft the experiences and the worlds and the levels and the maps and the modes that you so desire. And the last time that I saw a game do something on this level was honestly the Black Ops 3 Zombies mod tools. You just don't really see this sort of stuff happening very frequently at all because it's such a big effort for a dev studio to bundle up tools like this and release them to the public. The only thing missing now, in my opinion, once we get these tools, is for Battlefield to make sure that within the game itself, map makers are really incentivized to make crazy maps, sort of like what we've seen in Fortnite, where if you make an awesome map and make an awesome world or island or whatever, you end up ultimately getting some kind of benefits for it. You can become part of their support or creator program just for making maps, for example. You can actually earn money from those maps doing really well in Fortnite as well. Like, there are systems in place to make sure that people keep making maps and endlessly create content for the game so that there's endless things to play. And if they can do a similar thing in this game through some kind of community structure, it's going to be incredible. Like, it's just going to be a flywheel that means that this is the last Battlefield game we ever need to buy because it's just got infinite content forever. So I'm very excited about the Portal. I think it's got so much potential, so much more than it did in 2042. That Portal was so limited. This, to me, is just screaming with ideas and with stuff that I just want to sink my teeth into. So hopefully you've enjoyed this showcase video. Hit that like button if you want to keep up to date with any Portal developments from here. And I'll also obviously be showcasing cool maps and things like that on launch as well. So subscribe now, and I'll see you guys very soon.